Hi, Yuli. Welcome, and so good to see you again. So Yuli's here to share about her journey inside the embodied feminine woman. Welcome, Yuli. So happy to have you. So share with me, Yuli, where were you at when you first started the program?
Thanks, Vanessa. Happy to be here. Yes, so in the beginning of this program, I was feeling very disempowered within the area of love. I just had a 7 year on and off again relationship, and I was connecting with a guy who wasn't very emotionally available and who I felt I was chasing. And I
Mm,
noticed that I was just like in this trend of dating guys who are very either like making me feel like I'm really unworthy and drained, or guys who were very dismissive. So I was like swinging back and forth between these two types and not really knowing how to find the the love of my life.
okay. So in a pattern of chasing and then also attracting men who were dismissive and emotionally unavailable.
Yes, and also on the other extreme, like chasing guys who um required a lot of my energy.
And tell me more. What do you mean by that?
Like they would, I think they would be more of the anxious type who really needed a lot of my attention and
Mm,
time. Um, and I end up feeling like tired in those situations.
I see. So it's almost like you picked up on a needy energy from those men in the past.
Yes, or that's how I perceive the relationship.
Okay. And I'm curious, what did you feel was underneath the pattern? Like, was it the mother wound, father wound, as you went in and did the deeper inner work, um, and healed your love cracks on your life timeline? Where did you notice that this pattern was coming from?
Yeah, so when I did the deep work, I found out that it was all of them. So it was really intense to do the deep work, but much needed. There were like layers of wounds from prior hurtful relationships or
Mm,
prior hurt in relationships, whether it's betrayal or just like feeling like I couldn't speak my truth and not get my needs met. And then there was like definitely the wound from my relationship with my father, where I did feel like he was not available and it was dismissive, and a relationship with my mom, where
mm,
she was always like, I always felt like she was rejecting me and nothing was ever good enough. And there was also like learning about my abandonment wounds and why I disappeared because of that fear, as well as really learning what codependence meant and
mm.
seeing that that was my pattern as well. So a lot of the material was very spot on and supportive of the layers of hurt that was getting in my way.
I see. So through the inner work, did it start to make sense how your inner little girl was running your love life and picking these men and chasing these men to get that unmet validation need?
Yeah, and like it became very clear how it was my work to be more connected to her and to
Mhm.
comfort her and take care of her after all of those prior relationships. Because like I noticed that I didn't just pick up on hurt, uh, being hurt patterns. I picked up like patterns of being hurtful from
Mhm.
my like caregiver. So no matter the relationship, I risk hurting my potential partner. And I really saw that clearly from doing this work.
Oh, beautiful. So you're more connected now to your vulnerability and to share your truth without like the kind of daggers coming out or the like I know that pattern too, having healed that one myself. But so I'm curious, do you feel more connected to your vulnerability?
I do, and it's a habit. It's a habit because I feel like throughout the program, you continuously remind us to do this, like to just connect to ourselves and how we're feeling. So it's a new habit for me to tap into how I'm feeling, understand the layers of it, and be able to take care of myself.
Beautiful. And so now you are dating a really incredible high caliber man who's treating you so beautifully. And I'm curious, just how do you feel in this dating dynamic right now? This, I know you're not in an exclusive relationship yet, but how is he treating you? How does this feel like a completely different caliber of man than anything you've attracted? Tell me more.
It's been an incredible experience, actually. Like, I feel like I'm dating this man in a way that I've never dated before. Um, I would say that if I had not done this program, I would not be able to date him. But it's been beautiful to see how he is very intentional. He has a healthy pace, and he really communicates his interest to me in a direct way, and he's doing his best to be loving in a way that's true to him. And I feel like I've been able to receive a lot of that and also be in touch with myself and be in touch with how I feel in this relationship and communicate my truth. So it's been a very healthy exploration process. I'm very excited about it. I feel like I am seen in a way that I've never been before.
Oh, beautiful.
And it's been beautiful. And I also feel that this is along my journey for sure to the love of my life, whether it's him or somebody else. I have like a lot of like feeling of security and safety that I can have the honest conversation with him and enjoy
Mm.
my experience with him, learning and growing while I'm finding my way. So not 100% sure yet whether he's the one. It's very possible, but I'm also not attached to that outcome.
Oh, beautiful. I love that. Yeah, I hear that from so many women because there's just such a confidence, right? In knowing that you can have what you want, and you know how to attract in emotionally available, high caliber men now.
Yeah, he is definitely very emotionally skilled and has amazing relationship skills. So I'm very pleased with how it's going.
Beautiful. And I'm curious, what advice would you give to anyone who's on the fence about joining this program, who's a little bit scared to invest in themselves, but feeling stuck in similar patterns as you of chasing and continually attracting emotionally unavailable, dismissive men? What would you say to them?
I would say that Vanessa's material is amazing. It's high caliber, well thought out. It was perfect for this exact issue. And I was blown away by how thoughtful it was designed and how it was really fitting to like the way that it's crafted so that it covers all the potential issues that is in the way of love and the practical exercises so that we can get back to in touch with ourselves and heal that wound. And especially the material on how to date, how to relate from the feminine. It's been amazing education and guidance. Because I find myself having these issues, and the coaching from Vanessa is always so helpful, so helpful in being able to clearly see what's going on.
So not only learning so much around healing the mother wound, the father wound, healing from past exes, but learning a whole new way of relating to men, understanding men, and dating, really understanding what it means to date from your feminine energy.
Yeah, I remember like watching your module on how to text from the feminine. It felt a little bit uncomfortable, but I applied it same day and I got a date within
Oh,
an
that's
hour for the
yeah.
same week. So I was like, oh my God, this is very powerful material.
Wow. And so with the texting and feminine communication, I'm curious, was it like a completely new way of communicating for you with men? Had you been previously more logical and in your head?
Completely, because when I was watching that module, you were giving the examples of this is the masculine way of texting, and I'm like, that's exactly how I text.
Uh, right. Yeah. And then you notice like you switch to the feminine and it's just so magnetic. Men are just like, whoa, can I take you out on a date?
Very effective.
Yeah. So of course you feel so confident. You're like, if this man's not the one, you have the tools to call in that man, the next man who is and you know that you're a match to emotionally available men.
Yeah, and I know I can soothe the painful parts, the
Hmm.
part of me that's uncomfortable throughout the process.
And I'm curious, anything that you would say, like if, what does it feel like to be in relationship with an emotionally available, emotionally skilled man? How would you describe it?
It feels like a gift. It feels very safe. I feel so much gratitude and joy. Things feel easy. Uh,
Hmm.
it's been very nice.
And like the communication, what is that? Is that pretty consistent daily? Where are you at with communicating with him? How does that feel?
Yeah, it's very consistent. We communicate in the morning, throughout the day, and in the evening. We clearly know what's going on with each other and how we feel. And when there's an issue, we've been able to bring it up to each other in ways that feel safe. And it's resolved. It's resolved. I remember I was feeling very upset for something that happened during
Hmm.
Valentine's Day, and he immediately just like he addressed it. He addressed it and like was giving me the space and told me about how he really does want to hear how I felt and want me to feel better about the situation.
Oh, beautiful. So you feel safe to express your needs and to address conflict, and he's a partner that wants to step up and meet your needs.
Yeah. And even when we didn't have the opportunity to talk about it, he went up to me and said, "Hey, we didn't get to talk about it, but remember that we can anytime you want to." So he definitely gave me a lot of space to communicate my needs. And that's been makes you feel very happy and safe.
And I'm curious I know, because that's the part we covered in the course around how to communicate conflict, how to use your feminine vulnerability to communicate during conflict. Did you notice that those tools helped you when you have to communicate difficult situations?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think like this was where I had a lot of inherited communication patterns that wasn't the healthiest and was pretty
Mm.
hurtful. But learning to just like very much tap into how I feel and be responsible about how I impact him, but still communicate my truth. That was not just effective, but aligned with who I want to be.
Mm.
So somebody who is like truthful, but loving still. So yeah, and it's hard. It's hard for me to instead of it's harder to tell him I'm hurt rather than lash out at him. So
Mm.
it is a new skill, but it is more effective.
Oh, beautiful. So that would have been an old pattern. I'm curious, did you notice how the nervous system worked too, helped you with regulating that reactivity and like being able to pause to feel and slow down?
Yeah, I think this is like the biggest exercise from the program. Really remembering and connecting to my nervous system. That's been the most powerful new habit. Like I do it now in the morning and
Oh,
throughout the evening, just remembering, feeling my body, feeling my nervous system, being responsible and patient with whatever's going on. It definitely helps me like know what's going on in myself and choose the best next actions. So I'm not
mm.
just like blindly going insane. I'm like actually figuring out, okay, I'm feeling unsafe. I need to take care of myself a little bit and communicate that so that I can restore this sense of safety.
Beautiful. Wow. Beautiful. I love that you're continuing to do the work because it is ongoing. And thank you so much for coming on here to share. I really appreciate it and wishing you so many blessings for everything to come.
Hey, thank you so much, Vanessa.